Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Gun Show. I'm Crystal Reese, and I will be hosting this new segment. The Gun Show is a show where we talk everything Second Amendment, and sometimes we get to bring on a fun guest and talk about our love of guns. The Gun Show is sponsored by Gray Man Solutions. They make holsters out of Kydex. Lots of different types of designs. My favorite one is a design called the Mini, and it will clip into a thigh wrap, a belly band, your pants. It's very low profile, but still provides adequate trigger protection. So that's Gray Man Solutions, Grey Man Solutions. Thanks, Thomas. We love ya. So this week, not too crazy on the gun news. I'm going to share my screen for those up and watching. I really like this one. This Mark Robinson was elected the North Carolina Lieutenant Governor. And if you're not really sure who he is, let me share the computer sound. I'm going to play it's an old video of him talking about the majority and our gun rights, and I think it's worth watching. So we're gonna listen in.
I'm sorry, my name is Mark Robinson. I live that's right here in Greensboro. I've lived in Greensboro all my life. I didn't have time to write a fancy speech. I didn't have time to, I didn't have the resource of an English teacher to sit down and write a speech with at school today and be brought over here practice or anything. What I really came down here for is this. I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group and domestic violence and blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority? And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony. I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet. You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself from some of the very people you're talking about in here tonight. It's ridiculous. I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens, because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA. I'm here to stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community, because I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen. The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in. They're going to hold on to them. And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take them? The police can barely enforce the law as it is. That's what I see. We demonize the police, criminalize and vilify the police, and we make the criminals into victims. And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung?
Anywho, I love it. I could listen to this guy speak all day, man. He is so powerful. So hooray for North Carolina. They loved his speech and they support Second Amendment over there. Other gun news is I thought this one was interesting. 2 men who are under the age of 21, they're in between 18 and 21, and they are suing the government for the right to purchase handguns. And some of their arguments are they can vote, they are legally an adult, they can live by themselves, they can serve in the military, but they can't protect themselves fully. So that's a fascinating one. I hope it works, because I lived in Utah for almost 10 years. And in Utah, they allow adults, young adults, 18 and older, to get their concealed carry permit. And clearly hasn't had a problem because it's still a legal thing. I think it's really awesome that we allow them to protect themselves. If you can live by yourself, you should be able to protect yourself. Hopefully that one works. Here's some more good gun news for those of us gun owners. Recent data has come in. There are 434 million guns in the United States of America, 20 million ARs, and 150 million magazines. So loving that, loving those stats. Give me those stats all day long. Clearly, we like our guns here and we participate in our Second Amendment, especially recently. A lot of people are still buying guns. We still can't find guns at their previous prices and ammunition. I actually watched a video where a guy broke down an article saying some of the major manufacturers for ammunition, I think it was Vista Outdoors, and they came out with a public statement saying that they are back ordered a full year worth of ammunition. Crazy. And they have people working 24/7 on this. And yeah, I love it. I don't love it, but I love it at the same time. Keep buying those guns and ammo. Hopefully it'll get better though, because I want my ammo at a normal price again. Don't you? Okay, another person who was elected, her name's Lauren Boebert in Colorado. She owns an open carry restaurant. I love that. Yes, there was actually an open carry restaurant in a city in Utah where I lived, in Ogden, and all the waiters would open carry, all the waitresses, hostesses, everyone working there, they were open carrying, and it was awesome. We need more of that. I get a lot of mixed emotions about open carry, and a lot of people say it's dumb or you're trying to intimidate. My argument is, if you are the normal person, not the one who's crazy about, well, we're all crazy about guns, let's be honest, but not the one who is intimidating or likes to use guns in an intimidating or puffed up chest manner, then you should be the one open carrying. Because when I open carry and I am carrying my little putt-putts and on my arm and they're running around, it changes the perception of us, the gun owners. They see, oh, that's a mom and she's got some kids and she's got a gun on her. Okay. So that's why I open carry, for the dialogue and for the perception, because I really want our image as gun owners to be changed. There's a lot of work on the opposite side trying to make gun owners look extreme and white supremacists and whatever it is, old white men. They're working hard to make the image of gun owners poor, but we need to show that it's a good image. Yes, I understand it's not practical for self-defense or a situation. It could make you a target, and also like people can try to grab it. Anywho, I understand the negative effects, but I think there's quite a bit of positive effects and we should consider them. So there's that. Sad story from this week is Ethiopia had a mega massacre with knives. Not hearing much about this, but they estimate as much as 500 unarmed civilians were massacred in this town. So obviously we all know this, but there are more weapons than guns, and people can do evil with anything. It just, so my heart breaks. That is horrendous. We're not hearing about that clearly because it doesn't fit some anti-narratives. Okay, Coney Barret is getting the chance to work on a Second Amendment case. There's two of them out of Colorado. And they're referring back to a couple years ago. It's finally made its way up. And that's how the system works. A governor or so-and-so will make a law, some sort of congressperson will make a law against guns that is not constitutional, and then it takes several years and lots of money to bring it up to the Supreme Court, and then they finally vote on it, and then you get your rights back, hopefully. Excuse me. So the case in question is, one, they forced all the citizens to make a registry of their guns in Colorado, not the whole state, but just a district. And then on top of that, they raised the firearm purchase limit to 20, the age limit to 21. So usually, actually, it's a federal law that you can purchase a long gun at 18, but in this location, they raised it. So those are two mega Second Amendment gun cases that Amy Coney Barrett is going to get to contribute on. And it'll be interesting to see how she proceeds with that. Here's another, as we're talking about lawsuits, California is undertaking, some people are suing California over the roster ban. So if you're not aware with California's roster ban, it is horrendous. It's basically you can add one handgun that you can purchase, but then you get to remove 3. So it's basically a way, if you have 10 guns, we're going to simplify this. You have 10 guns you can purchase and you want to add a new one. So that's 11, but then you're removing 3. So you're ending up with 8, right? So as you keep adding more guns, you're losing 2 every time and basically eliminating your options for firearms. And that's the gun news for the week. Not a lot happening, I think, because we are all still in this limbo with the presidency. It seems pretty clear that Biden has won, but, we'll see ultimately. And yeah, just a lot of gun owners have been quite somber, myself included. I will share a good story, the armed citizen. This happened in North Carolina. We're talking about North Carolina this week. A man had someone break into his house and he called his roommate who was not at home. And his roommate ran home, got his gun, confronted 2 of the intruders, and they had weapons on them, and then ended up shooting them and saving his roommate's life. I thought that was crazy that he wasn't even home and was able to make it there. Also, I'm like, did the roommate call the cops first, or did he call this roommate, the guy in there? Anywho, so woohoo, 24-year-old roommate. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for your forgiveness on delivering this late. It's just been crazy in my personal life, but things are looking up. Super blessed. I'll just keep the grind, hustle and grind. Until next week. See you then.